Hello everybody, it's your host Edwin Rajamanyari, and welcome to your pocket, your problem. So what is our problem today? Our problem is our mindset. So we've got four categories. Damn, that was 10. Four categories that I want to talk about that are related to how you earn your wealth and how you're taxed by the what? By the government. So the first category is the employee, and then the second one is the self-employed, the small businesses, and the third one is the business, and the fourth one is the invested category. So talking about the quadrants, this is just information that is just, it's widely valuable to all those people that you think are rich. If you've got rich friends, they probably know about these things. Maybe you are the only one who doesn't know about these things. So it's by the time you know about these things, and it's by the time you know which categories to follow. So I know there is some point in life you're going to study from the employee category, then you're going to be maybe you will transition from being an employee to a self-employed or to a small business. Then you're going to transform to a business that is a system that can thrive, in your absence, and then you can become an investor. There is a point where you can actually say that your money is not working for you. Starting from the employee mindset, majority of the people that live in the world that possess this kind of mindset. It's the mindset that we've all been, taught since childhood, from home, from sometimes in churches, and sometimes in school. So it's like you need to work hard. You need to work hard. You study hard. Get good grades, and then get a better job, and then have a better salary, so you can actually invest some of your money into some investment portfolios, like pension funds. If it is about, if you're talking about people in America, there's 401ks, there's the individual retirement accounts, the IRAs, and all that kind of stuff goes in. So talking about the mindset, it's the mindset that shapes you into somebody. Because if you look at all the people that have made better things in this life, if you look at all the things all the innovations that you see in this world, they've been made by crazy people. So the mind is the driving force behind everything. Even if you are an employee, if you want to thrive in whatever it is, it's the mindset that actually gets you to a point where you can become a specialist, or for you to become better. It all starts from the mind. So that's one of the things that is essential. And if you look at the power of the mind, you can do anything. So your mindset is a very, very important thing. So if you really want to make money, I think the first step for you to actually get yourself to a position of opportunities, to a position of competency, to a position of cash flow, to a position of perception where you can actually see a business opportunity instead of a job opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking about the mindset, I'm just basically saying that if somebody is an employee and if somebody is a business person, if they are given a task to analyze a situation, at some point we can actually take two individuals, one an employee, somebody who possesses an employee mindset, and somebody who possesses the business mindset. Then we can actually put them in an environment. Maybe we can talk about, we can say that we can actually put them in a country. So if we take all those two individuals and put them in different situations, we can actually put them in the same situation and in the same environment. One of that individual, one of the two individuals that we're talking about, might not spot an opportunity in a given country or in a given community, because maybe what he looks for in an environment, most of the times he's going to be looking for the opportunities that are aligned to his perception, meaning to say that how he sees the world. But to a business person, maybe the employee, the person who possesses the employee mindset, might not see an opportunity that a business person can see in a given community. Okay, business person, you are the one who's responsible for creating everything. So you are a system builder. You are like an architect. You get what I'm saying? You create the blueprints for business. You create the blueprints of a system that creates cash flow, and it's different from an employee, because employee looks for a system that can actually give him a salary so that he can have steady income and all that kind of stuff. So it's two different perspectives that these two individuals possess. You know what I'm saying? So there's differences in the way they think. So it's the same way that the world operates. So the mindset is everything that shapes your way of thinking, and it's the mind that is responsible for discovering opportunity, and it's the mind that is responsible for the level of competency. Because if you look at a business person and somebody who is employed, a business person may suffer losses, but he will pay his employees. So you might go home with a paycheck, but I go home with losses. I'm the one who is suffering from all the. I take all the losses, and you have your salary. So I'm the one who's responsible for the business. I'm the one who suffers the most if the business is, or if my business, if my adventure goes, if I face misfortunes. So it's a big challenge. So if I face misfortunes, or if my business goes sideways, then I'm the one who's responsible for all the failures, but you have your salary. So that's why a business person is, I think that's the main reason why you find a business person being why business people are richer than employees, because they take most of the pain. So it's painful to actually start a business. It's not easy because this is not a paycheck and whatever it is. So the mindset is something that you build. So if you want to possess the mindset of an entrepreneur or a business person, then there's a lot of changes that you're going to do, transitioning from an employee to a business person. To a business person, because these are two different worlds and they require different approaches. So when I'm responsible for creating the system, that's when I'm going to create a system that is going to what? That is going to enslave you for life, because you don't want to take responsibility. So that's why we're saying that your pocket is your problem. So if your pocket is your problem because you're having money problems, and I'm the one solving your money problems, but I'm giving you employment, but you're exchanging the employment with your time, which is the most valuable asset that you have, because you only have a certain amount of time. Your time is limited, but this money that I'm actually giving you as a salary is not limited because it is created by the big banks. So I've just created a system that generates me money, and you are a part of it. And I know that you're an essential part of my system, because if you're not there in my system, then my system is going to work. So your presence is needed in my system. So I need you in my system, and I'll just give you some of that money as a what? Is an appreciation fee, so that your salary, and you rely on that your whole life. And this fucked up formula. It's not. I don't think it's a good formula. So it's one of the things that we want to teach one another, on this show. So your pocket is your what? Is your problem. So you need to take care of your problems. So getting back to the main idea, the mental framework that you need to build is different from the mental framework of an employee. So if you want to dive into the business world, you need to change your mentality. Your mentality is what we're just talking about. So your mental framework has to be different, and there's certain practices that you find in poor families, and there's certain practices that you find in rich families. So it's about building. It's like a mental school that you find, because if you look at a number of people, if you look at a number of rich individuals, they tell you that poverty is passed on in the family, and a richness or wealth is passed on in the family as well.